Okay, I'm gonna say it. Percy Jackson is better than Harry Potter. And before all of you Harry Potter fans come after me, you guys are terrifying, so I have a little disclaimer. This is all my personal opinion. To be fair, I read Percy Jackson in my formative years, literally when I was 12, when I was Percy Jackson's age in the first book. And then I didn't end up reading Harry Potter until I was like 17. So I do think that also has something to do with my bias towards Percy Jackson and the Heroes of Olympus series. Let me try carry this. Okay, but I still think that Harry Potter is just no match for Percy Jackson and the Heroes of Olympus series. Look at how battered and red my Percy Jackson series is. This is crazy my God behavior. But I'm gonna discuss it and get into it. It is literally 36 degrees right now, so it is hot and I am sweating. I literally just finished rereading House of Hades last night, so I am in the deep mood to talk about Percy Jackson and just how freaking good it is. Greek mythology. I have never met a person who says that Greek mythology is lame or it's boring or I don't want to hear about it, because Greek mythology is so vast, it is so intricate, it is so freaking interesting. And it is also just so involved in pop culture. There are a lot of things that just relate back to Greek mythology. And I think one of the best things about Percy Jackson and obviously the extended universe is that it makes Greek mythology so accessible for young people. Throughout the series, you get to meet like gods and goddesses and the giants and the titans, Roman heroes and Greek heroes and all of these stories. And these series just like build upon the mythology that already exists. And just to make it even better, it's like all told from the perspective of young, sarcastic teenagers. So they are relatable and they make everything, as I said, so accessible for young people. I am young people, or at least I used to be when I first read this. On top of this, I have another point, is Greek mythology comes up in trivia all the time. If you've ever done trivia, like random general knowledge trivia style things, and they ask you, who is the Roman goddess of love? A Percy Jackson fan would know. If we get asked, how was Athena, goddess of wisdom and strategy, how was she born? Percy Jackson fans would know. Albeit, some Greek mythology in the series is obviously watered down. I mean, this is a middle grade series. It kind of has to be. There are some things in Greek mythology that are just too vile and nasty for it to be in a middle grade series. But it does spark curiosity and it will get you interested. Like reading these series will get you interested in Greek mythology as a whole, and you might go off and explore it on your own. For example, in the series, Poseidon is such an awesome dad. Well, not an awesome dad. I should say he's an awesome god. Like, he is cool, he is chill, he is vibey. But some things like we don't really hear. Like that time that King Minos, he didn't sacrifice a bull for Poseidon. So Poseidon made his wife, Pasiphae, fall in love and do it with a bull. And that's how the Minotaur was born. You can't really put that in a middle grade series. Okay. The world of Percy Jackson and the Heroes of Olympus. Not to bag on Harry Potter in any sort of way, but everything, well, mostly happens within the school, at least for the first few books. Like, it's just like a year at school and everything happens in school. And that works because Hogwarts is a very interesting place. And anytime there's a new room or a new staircase, it is interesting. But the Percy Jackson world is so expansive because it is built on top of our world. So when you read Percy Jackson, you actually start to see the world differently. And I love that. Like, every quest that they go on is based in the real world, and there are real buildings and there are real landmarks that we know, and then you see it in a new light because you read this series. It's just fun. It's just awesome. It's just fucking interesting. When you read Battle of the Labyrinth, you learn that the way they find the entrances to the labyrinth is through little triangles that are on the ground, on poles, on gutters and things like that. And those are entrances to the labyrinth. And I kid you not, when I was 13 reading this, I started seeing triangles everywhere and I started thinking, is this the entrance to the labyrinth? Like, what? And that was just a really, really freaking fun experience. And I feel like you don't really get that much with Harry Potter. I'm gonna be so real right now. I live in Australia and I still am interested by every landmark, every American landmark and everything that is in this series. Guys, the Empire State Building turned blue this year. in honor of Percy Jackson, the TV show coming out. But it turned blue because of this series, and not me being a crazy 21-year-old literally ranting about how much she loves Percy Jackson. Oh my God, it's freaking hot in here. Let's talk about the characters. My babies. Some of the characters start developing in this series and then don't even finish but continue developing in like the next series, which is chef's kiss. Let's talk about Nico D'Angelo.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God.
What is that? Nico D'Angelo is one of my favorite characters across any book series. Should I stack them like this for the video, low-key? Okay, it's kind of cute. I will never shut up about Nico D'Angelo being one of the best characters in literary history. I want him to be my son. Like, I want to adopt him and look after him. Spoilers for Nico D'Angelo's little thing. I can't even remember which book he comes in, to be honest. I think it's Titan's Curse. I'm pretty sure it's Titan's Curse. I can't remember. When we meet Nico D'Angelo, he is so young, he is so wide-eyed, he is just this like impressionable little boy who looks up to Percy, who is excited to learn that his dad is Hades, and he has this loving sister and they have this beautiful relationship. Throughout the book and throughout the series, he loses his sister, he's feeling betrayed by Percy, and he's confused by his feelings, and he spends years in the closet and feeling very, very alone. Years. This boy spends years trying to figure out who he is and feeling super duper alone. And I think him feeling betrayed by Percy also just makes Percy not that perfect. Rick Riordan is like, none of his characters are just like the perfect hero. And I just respect that so much in developing characters. It makes them so real and they think like young people do. By the end of the series, Nico D'Angelo has not necessarily like transformed back to this like wide-eyed, all is good in the world, but he now has a support system. He gains a new sister. He starts talking to Will Solace and he starts seeing the light and having crushes, and it's just fantastic. This kid is my favorite kid in any series. Whenever I read about him, my heart just swells. In a middle grade series, that is how you write a queer character. You don't just decide they're gay after the fact that the series is done and the character himself is dead. Okay, I feel like it would be a disservice talking about Percy Jackson if I didn't talk about how wonderful the fans are, particularly in comparison to Harry Potter, because I feel like the most extreme Percy Jackson fan is a little bit more calm, approachable, low-key than the most extreme Harry Potter fan. And I get it, Harry Potter is a fantastic series, but man, oh man, are the fans like intense is the word I'm looking for, intense. I have never met a Percy Jackson fan that I didn't like. There might be some people I don't like and I don't know that they're Percy Jackson fans, but you know, we roll. Every time I meet a Percy Jackson fan and they love Percy Jackson and I love Percy Jackson, we just hit it off. We just hit it off. It is like sparks fly, embers are lighting, bushfire. That's how much sparks are flying. There's a literal bushfire. I actually shouldn't say that because, as I said, it is freaking hot in here and it is hot in Australia. I don't want to jinx it. I live near the bush. I recently bonded with like a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old like family friends because they love Percy Jackson, and we literally had like a 15-minute discussion and it was just so lovely, and it made me so happy that people are still reading this series. Obviously, why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't you? Again, not to bag on Harry Potter fans, love you all, but if I ever meet an intense Harry Potter fan, like really, really intense, like it's most of their personality is like what house they are. Every time that comes up, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And the last point I will talk about is just the authors. Uncle Rick Riordan, lovely man, lovely guy. Miss, what's her face? I don't even want to say her name, but you know who wrote Harry Potter. I feel like I don't really need to say much in this category because I think if an author ever says that they would happily go to jail for their controversial transgender views, I think it's really hard to be a worse person than that. Especially if you are writing for children, like your series is beloved and you're going to go ahead and say that. I don't know. I didn't really talk much about the movie adaptations in this video, because I think that's a clear sweep. I think we know that the Harry Potter adaptations from book to movie are just fantastic. Well done, well done. Snaps to you. And the movies for Percy Jackson are fun if you haven't read the books. Or if you just want like a fun little adventure, they are fun. But what we wanted was this turned into video entertainment. And I have a feeling the TV show will be able to do it. I don't know, guys. The teasers and the trailers for Percy Jackson look so good. And I am very, very excited to see how it all turns out. I don't really know what this video is about, to be honest. I really just wanted to geek out and talk about how much I love Percy Jackson and the Heroes of Olympus series. And it's just, you know, all up in my head, all the lore, all the characters, and the excitement of the TV show literally coming out this month. That's all I have to say. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching this random 21-year-old rant about one of her favorite series of all time. And yeah, stick around for more. Bye.